afternoon. Thank you so much. Briefing before we start today. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tabitha, and welcome to Touch Dubai. I'm here to brief you on safety and security. Your safety and security are a prime concern to us. The Opera 3, where you're seated at the moment, is on the ground floor. In an unlikely event of an emergency, the entrance to this hall services as fire exit that take you into the pre-function area. The fire exit is located opposite the entrance of the hall and leads you out of the hotel to the assembly point. In case of unlikely event, all our associates are trained emergency responders and will assist you in case of an incident. Follow the appropriate fire exit in case of an evacuation. Please do not leave your belongings unattended. On behalf of Team Touch Dubai, I wish you all a safe and secure conference. Thank you.
Welcome everybody once again to the IBPC's first collective women's event. This is all about celebrating women's journey, leadership, and voices. We have so many fabulous women here who have made their mark in this country and in this room, and I'm so appreciative of all of you to join us here today. Be it in the field of business, philanthropy, education, wellness, and many, many more. And with that same spirit, let's begin our evening today. It's my privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to invite Mr. Sunil Sinha, the Vice Chairman of IBPC. Mr. Sinha is a globally respected voice on business excellence, innovation, and sustainability, with over 4 decades of distinguished leadership experience with the Tata Group. He currently serves as the Director of Tata International for West Asia, and he's also the founder and CEO of Ignite Excellence. Beyond his corporate leadership, Mr. Sinha has played a pivotal role in strengthening bilateral relations between India and the UAE. His deep expertise in governance, sustainability, and global market dynamics has made him a trusted and a strategic advisor to international boards and a sought-out thought leader for the organizations expanding in the MENA region. Please welcome me in inviting Mr. Sunil Sinha on stage.
Thank you, Gomati. This was very gracious and overwhelming. I don't know whether you were talking about me or someone else. It didn't sound like me, of course. So, namaste, good evening, salam, everyone. I have to say how wonderful to see this event dominated by women. And I know exactly how you feel when you come to IBPC events. I can feel it in first person. And let me begin by a simple question. Why is that when women rise, societies rise? This is not just a philosophical question. It's backed by history, it's backed by data, and it's backed by numerous stories. We see it everywhere. We see it across countries, we see it across communities, we see it across families also. And so, today is a very proud moment for all of us in IBPC. This Women's Engagement Forum it's not just a sideshow. It is not a checkbox. It's a central part of our vision to make IBPC more inclusive, more diverse, and more dynamic, with the purpose to enable more women leadership in IBPC and I really mean it. And what a fitting way to begin with our chief guest, Ms. Swad Al Swedi, the first woman Emirati Arab wildlife photographer. I have to share it. I have to share a secret with all of you. Here is a well-known photographer. I too pretend to be a photographer. I carry a fancy camera. I also carry the best gear. But still somehow, I don't know why, yet to be deciphered, I fail to take good pictures, good photographs. So today, I'm secretly hoping that I'll get some tips from you so that I can also become a real photographer. Thank you for making it to our event. So coming back to the subject, let me share a very interesting program and take you to a small town called Mastichak in Bihar, India. There is a program in Mastichak called Football to Eyeball. It's run by a wonderful organization called Akhand Jyoti Eye Hospital. Some of us here are associated with that. Here is what they do. They take teenage girls from underprivileged families, mostly daughters of farmers, daughters of laborers, daughters of rickshaw pullers, and they teach them football to build confidence and courage. And then they train them to become optometrists. It's a 6-year-long training program. And today, these girls are restoring sights to thousands of people in that state. They are breadwinners in their families. Some have bought land. Some are funding their brothers' education. And some are the first women in their village to ever get a job. Isn't this amazing? Football to eyeball, confidence to career. That's the program. That's what happens when women are given a genuine platform. That's the spirit we are celebrating today. Quiet strength, quiet transformation. And that's what this forum is all about. We want to give our women members a space to speak, to share, to grow, and to lead. It's only the beginning, a very humble one. Today, women are leading in some of our IBPC committees, task forces, and event initiatives. And you can see this is all curated by our women members. But we know much more needs to be done. We are just at the beginning of the beginning. We know that it's a race without a finish line. Some of you may ask, why have a separate event for women? And that's a very fair question. And I was asked this question. My answer is sometimes we need a room of our own to build strength and to build connections. But in the longer run, we should all be in the same room, men and women together. That's the future we want at IBPC. We want to see women not only participating, but leading on the stage, leading in the panel discussions, and leading from the governing board of IBPC, where decisions are being made. And that's why today matters because it's the beginning of that ambitious journey. Let's make this not just an event, but the start of a movement. So thank you, Haya. Thank you, Gomati. Thank you, Sunny. The members of the Survey Task Force for bringing this to life. And to all wonderful women in this room, I say, lead, contribute, raise your hand, show up. Because when you rise, we all rise. Thank you. Let's have a great session. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil, for those wonderful, wonderful, inspiring words. And before we move on, I remember when one gentleman said, when he was walking by the seashore and he was collecting a lot of small turtles and throwing it back. And, the passerby said, it's going to be difficult, for you to take each one and throw it back. He said, one step at a time. And that's exactly what IBPC is doing, one step at a time to empower women, to ensure we lead at our rightful places. Yeah? And with that, I'd love to introduce Ms. Haya, who's been actually very important in shaping up this entire event. And I'm very proud to introduce her today. With more than 2 decades in the banking industry, working on various financial services, and then after doing all that, moving on to a humanitarian touch, where she's worked with people with disabilities, Africa, India, Sri Lanka, name the countries, and name the activities. I think you could find her in all of them. Trying to do such a selfless service is, again, not a very easy task. She's been involved in connecting the corporates, the governments, and the institutions together. And that takes not only diplomacy, that also takes a lot of patience. Haya is an Indian citizen who's been born and brought up in Qatar, and so she has the complete flavor of India and the Middle East. And right now she volunteers her time with activities in India, Sri Lanka, and UAE, with most focus on disability and children's welfare. Can we put our hands together to welcome Haya Masood on stage? Thank you. Thank you, Haya. I suddenly realized in all this, I forgot to introduce myself. Yeah? So I'm just going to give my name for people who don't know me. Because I was so excited to start off the event, I realized, my name is Gomati Sitaraman, and I'm a part of the membership task force of IBPC, and very happy to be your MC this evening. They've already done it from the beginning, but thank you so much. And now I have the utmost honor of introducing our chief guest today, Ms. Suwad. When I read her bio, it was absolutely inspiring, and I'm sure it will inspire many of us here when I read that. She's the first Emirati and Arab woman in the world to document wildlife. I would say that's a trailblazing adventurer and an award-winning photographer, and captured some of the planet's most rare animals. From enduring minus 28 degrees in the Himalayas to photograph the elusive snow leopard. And that's something I'm so curious to know about. And also braving the 50 degrees heat in India to document about the Royal Bengal tiger. Her courage matches her artistry. She's a global speaker, a sought-out TEDx speaker. She speaks at Google, embassies, international forums, and has also been invited by ambassadors to promote wildlife documentaries and tourism across the continents. Her work has been featured in National Geographic, CNN Arabic, NBC, Nikon, and many more, giving her prestigious awards. And one that's very dear is her award of Mother Teresa for Peace. She's also a very proud member of the Lions International Club, and she continues to merge her passion of wildlife photography and cultural exchange to inspire audiences worldwide. Thank you so much. That was just beautiful. And can we all put our hands together to welcome our chief guest, Ms. Suad, on
I
stage?
really didn't need to ask you to applaud, did I? It's so applause-worthy. Thank you, first of all, everyone, for being here. It means so much to us that you're here tonight. It's a labor of love and passion, and I couldn't be more excited and honored to be interviewing you today. We've had conversations, and there has been so much that has come out, especially over the last 48 hours, but I'm going to ruminate over them all over again. And before I start, though, can I just say a quick thank you to Mr. Sunil Sinha. You encapsulated everything that we wanted to say today. It's absolutely amazing. We have your blessing, along with the chairman, to do what it is that we're doing, and you've been genuinely supportive of the women at IBPC. I thought this was the best forum to let you know. And of course, our mentor and the guy whose brains we chew all the time, Ramesh Mahalingam, you've got to stand up and take an applause for this. So Ramesh has been mentoring us through all our tantrums, and we think it's creative and out-of-the-box ideas, and then he brings sensibility back into the discussion. So we're like three kids that just run wild, and he kind of brings us back to the fold. Thank you, Ramesh. We couldn't think of a better platform than this one to recognize the work you're doing for us. And my buddy Sunny there at the back, thank you. Gomti, of course, you can recognize her by her voice. But thank you all again. And now our wonderful, wonderful, I feel like we've become friends overnight. We've had such interesting conversations. And I'm going to chew your brain for all of it and more. Would you like to tell us, to begin with, what I found really interesting, and I think given that most of us are expats here who came to this region, not speaking Arabic, you being Emirati, were born in the US, and you came to the UAE at the age of 10 and had to learn to speak the language. Could you tell us more about that?
Assalamu alaikum. I know it's Friday. Namaste.
Oh, brilliant. Namaste.
First of all, I want to start by saying I would like to thank God for the story of my life. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here today. I would like to thank my mom for believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. I would like to thank each one of you for giving me time from your life to listen to my story today. Thank you. So yes, when I look back, only when I look back, I understand why the journey of my life, I have different phases. Only the reason is that when I reach this point, I'll be able to understand everyone's perspective. So my father used to study in the States, and I was 2 years old. And you know, as a kid, you don't know that there's another country, another religion, another whatever. And I loved, you know, I had an amazing childhood. And I have to emphasize to tell you, let your kids be kids. So this is really what brought my personality. So when I used to go play in the woods, I was in the forest, I was all over the place. And I used to go to church, and with my friends, dress up. I didn't know that this is religion. So by the age of 10 years old, I came back. And all of a sudden, my mom noticed that, oh my God, my kids, or my mom is from Al-Falasi family. She's like, oh my God, my Falasi kids don't speak Arabic and they don't know they belong to another religion. So she's the one who really worked hard to make us learn the language, because it's very hard. The only time I heard Arabic is when they had secrets together. And I'm like, okay, and I tried to decode, but I never heard that language before. So it was a struggle, but it was her will, her strong belief that we can learn. And believe it or not, yes, when they tested us for our educations to see where we fit, yes, we failed because we never saw Arabic written, but she made sure that we were top in our class immediately when we came back. So that's the story. I think her determination and hard work really made us understand it.
You know what I find amazing and where I felt that connection is because a lot of us who've had children here in this part of the world, Arabic becomes a second language just because the community is so widespread. And you could live in this part of the world for decades and not speak a word of Arabic, which is not something to be proud of. But I can't imagine how it must have been for you when you came back, the extended family and the looks that, they don't speak the mother tongue. So it's...
Believe it or not, when I
it's a
asked the
challenge.
people who knew me when I was like a kid, they said, we used to sit and look at you because there was no common language between us to
Yeah.
communicate and talk.
Yeah.
But I think the phase that I am always as a kid surrounded by people from different background, different religion, till today, I feel that's my family, that's my norm. I feel that, you will not believe that, I feel the universe, I don't see it in sectors and countries, I see the universe is all ours. Because the biggest proof is that when COVID hit, it didn't hit a country, it didn't hit a certain religion, it didn't hit a certain level in life status. It hit us all equal. So it's God's message telling us, you're all equal regardless what.
Absolutely, absolutely. Photography has its own language, or perhaps it doesn't have a language, and maybe that's why it's universal. So, what was that first photograph, or perhaps the first instance where you felt, this is what I'm called to do, this is my calling, this is where I see myself?
Well, my undergrad, when I tell you it's by God's will. And sometimes letting go is actually the best thing you do in your life. So my undergrad, when I left my family for the first time to do my undergrad, I felt extremely lonely. And I felt there's no one. And I was looking for a companion, not in a form of a person, but more of someone to be with me as a friend. In a very random way, I cannot tell you that I grew up loving animals. Till today, I freak out if I see any domestic animals, believe it or not. I cannot go to the zoo, definitely. And I never thought I'm going to be a photographer. I never imagined myself as a photographer. I never thought, I didn't know even how to use it. So because I was extremely lonely, all of a sudden I got my camera. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what I'm going to capture with that machine. I don't know how to operate it. So, at that age, in your teens, my brother was like, I was in college of engineer. My brother was telling me, but how are you going to use it without a lens? I told him, I'm going to work it out. And unfortunately, it didn't work out because you need a lens. I didn't know back then. But I knew in my heart that my camera is going to be my friend for the rest of my life.
Amazing.
So all of a sudden, I tried to figure out this camera, and I threw it many times because it was really a friend. I either stuck with it, tried to understand it, and when I'm upset with my camera, one day my camera is upset with me for months, which means that if I leave it one day, I have to go for months again to go and remember what I used to, what I learned. So it is a real friend. And all of a sudden, without even calculation, without any thought, I was capturing wildlife. which was birds, all different animals, gazelles, deers, squirrels, and it was easy in the States, nature. Remember this in my life because I'll come back to it. So I did continue on, trying to figure it out, and I did my undergrad in College of Engineering, and then I came back, and it was like, what is that? Because I used to program robots in 2004, and they're like, what do you do? Nobody understood it. I'm like, okay, let me go back and do my master's degree. And I did my master's degree in architecture, and my heart beats in that. That's why I was able to graduate with honors. I love it. I cannot tell you how much. So nobody was able to compete with me when I'm doing my architect work because I felt it. I am programmed to do that. So my undergrad is to please my mom. She wanted someone to be an engineer. My master's degree was to please me because I wanted to do something artistic and something fun. And even when I did that, I took my camera with me. So my camera was something that I didn't plan for. And then I graduated from my master's degree, came back, held lots and lots and lots of projects, humongous projects, and I was able to have certificate of excellence in that field, collecting lots of awards, and then all of a sudden, that door shut. I became overqualified.
Being overqualified, but just the fact that you followed your passion throughout and you didn't let anything stop you. I think we're all familiar, considering where we come from, the expectations of being a lawyer, doctor, engineer. But having said that, you still took the time out to do what it is your heart beats for. I'd love for everyone to just have a look at some of that passion, please. I can't stop looking at it. Every single time I replay it and I watch it again, it's just incredible. How was it? What was the most frightening experience? You have a fear of domesticated animals, and here you are doing all of this work in a strange land where people don't speak your language, and there's nothing or very little in common. How did you do this?
So I remember when I told you the door shut, and my mom was seeing that the world of architecture is closing, and this active girl, her light is dimming in front of her eyes. And I felt that I'm getting really into a very dark place because I invested a lot in architecture, and I invested a lot in my title. How can I start from scratch? And what kind of title will I be able to do If it's not architecture, who am I? Where do you go from there when you are hurt from the inside and you feel the world is dimming and the light within is dimming? So all of a sudden, my mom came to me and told me one word. She said, Suad, if you don't search for the light within, no one on the face of the planet will let you blossom and bloom again. So I looked around in my room. Where do you go? What do you do? The only thing that I had is my camera. And I remember that time, I remember the date exactly. It was very recent, 2019. So I took my camera, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And everyone today is a photographer. And how can I shine in this world? But you know what? I said it's going to be my friend in the dark times. So I took my camera, and for the first time in my life, my family agreed that I go to Africa. And I was in the jungle, in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't know that in the country, people were talking and saying, there is an Emirati lady in the middle of the jungle, what is she doing? And when I came back, it was real. I was contacted by the Women Union, and I was informed that I am the first Emirati, an Arab female wildlife photographer in the world. So I understood that I did plan, but God's plan is better. And I didn't see in my small camera what I can achieve. But then I did believe. I always believed in two things. I always believed in something greater than myself, greater than any living human being. That's God.
That's wonderful. And just because we're IBPC, you have to tell us about your experiences in India.
I'll tell you the unforgettable one. The one that everyone, but I have to stand for that. That's why I told you I need to be on this side of the stage. So you will not believe till today, most of my trips, all of a sudden, I get a phone call. Someone contacts me and tell me, are you interested to come here or to go there? Are you interested to capture this and that? Not even in my dreams, I would ever think that I will reach that place one day. So one of the times, someone contacted me, a company from South Africa, asking me, are you interested to capture the snow leopard? But I know the snow leopard, the environment of that snow leopard. And I did ask the question, I am interested, definitely, but what's the worst case scenario? Well, they were hesitant to tell me. They said there are two things. We might reach the temperature of minus 38, and you're going to definitely feel that deep in your bones. And there's another thing that might happen, AMC, acute mountain sickness, which is deadly. In my head, mentally, it took me 3 months to say yes in my head. But definitely, immediately, I did say yes. So I went to Chandigarh, and then my journey started from there. When I reached the altitude of approximately 2,700 meters above sea level, I felt different. I felt something is wrong. So my nose was a little bit dripping, blood, and I had this headache, and I felt nauseated for some reason, and I didn't know the reason. So at this level, there's something that everyone has to do. We have to acclimatize so that your body doesn't go into shock. So we stayed overnight, and then we continued on to 5,000 meters above sea level. And it was minus 28 by then. And I finally, after a couple of days on the tip of the mountains, I said, finally, I'm going to acclimatize and I'm going to rest. So yes, I put all of my gears, and then all of a sudden, they came to me and said, well, yes, it's very important for you to acclimatize, but we are able to spot the snow leopard. Are you willing to go and capture it? And I was like, they are putting the responsibility in my hands. It's my life or the capture that they might not see again. So I have two weapons. One, as I mentioned, I always believe in something greater than myself, greater than any living human being. The second is passion. Passion keeps me going. You cannot stop me. You cannot stop my mind. You cannot stop me from going or doing anything. It's in my head. No one from outside can control that. Being the person who I am, I definitely said yes. Bear in mind, there is no language between me and the people around me. The only word that we know is kursi, which is chair. So if I say kursi, they will move the chair from one end to another. And then say kursi again, and they do it again. So I was capturing, and I was having fun, and I cannot believe I'm looking at the snow leopard at an altitude of 5,000 meters above sea level and a temperature of minus 28. And yes, I did feel the cold weather in my bones. I was having fun, and I was thanking God that I'm looking and witnessing something lots of people didn't see. But I felt something different, something with my body. I didn't feel right. I cannot tell you it was a headache or stomach, pain, or it's something very odd. And I'm like, I think I captured enough. Let me acclimatize so that I don't put myself in danger. So I told them, let's go, kursi, and they're moving it from one end to another. And I'm like, kursi, and I screamed. And they noticed that something serious is happening. So they gathered all of my gears, took everything, and they took me back to the house. I laid there, and I'm thinking, what's this feeling? What could it be? How can I explain it? So I was sitting in my room, and then all of a sudden, I sat up and I said, oh God, am I dying? Is this death? So I had to help myself with my mind. So immediately I told myself, Su'ad, there is a verse from our holy book that says, وَمَا ظَنُّكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Su'ad, at this moment, what do you think of God? And I said, God made it happen, brought me all the way up, made me reach where I want to come. He will not let me go. Only when I'm saying these words to myself, a knock came on my door. They said, the doctor is here. You want to see her? I'm like, yes. So I went to her, and I was all tearing up. And I told her, I don't know what to tell you, but something is wrong with me. She put the device on my finger, and she said, well, your body is losing oxygen. And we have to evacuate you down to Gaza. I said, no. God will not bring me all the way here to just take me away. I have a lot to see. So I told her, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I am going to survive and live with the oxygen device. So she said, but we have one problem, which is on the mountain, we only have one device. So if someone else falls, we are really fighting for our life. And guess what? With the faith that I have, with the passion that I have, behind the scenes, with my oxygen mask, not only I was able to capture the snow leopard, I was able to go and capture the red fox, the rare red fox. I was able to go to the highest bridge in Asia, the Chichen Bridge. I was able to go to the highest post office on the face of the planet. I was able to go to the highest gas station on the face of the planet, and much more. So today I ask you, when you feel you are lonely, you are enough at that moment. When you feel you are standing alone, remember, at that moment, what do you think of God? Thank you.
There's a fine line between stubbornness and determination. It's just how we identify it, right? Thank you, that was so inspiring. What do you think? Yeah? You started off as a novice. You've done so much since then. I know Mr. Sinha definitely wants to know this. What tips would you give novice photographers, someone who wants to go into your area?
See, when I came face to face with the lion, till this day, when I go solo, and my driver is protected. I'm not. My car is open 2 meters. 2 meters by 1 meter. And you're going to see from the type of photography I do, it's eye to eye, straight. So I wait for them to come, and I feel, when I saw the lion for the first time, I knew that this is my world. I knew that I belong here. My heart doesn't beat from fear. So I know I'm meant to be here. So it's the thing that I don't control, God controls my heartbeat. So I cannot tell you, go out and be a wildlife photographer. But let me give you a very important tip. Through my life, I tried to be this and that. The only person who will know what you are made for is yourself. Ask yourself, okay, does it feel right? Why am I doing it? Does it give me a sense of life? Am I enjoying it, even with the pain? Because photography is lots of pain. Am I enjoying it? And never tie it to something or put the power into someone else's hands. What I mean is that today social media, pushes us in different direction. They're trying to make me a videographer. I don't mind that, but see what touches your heart. I'm the kind of person who waits for the split of a second, and I'll go further for that.
It's been so interesting, and I just have one last question before we wind up. If you could photograph one animal or one landscape that you haven't done already, what would it be?
I cannot tell you one thing.
Of course.
The list is long. But I can tell you, when I come and capture, the second that I capture, I have to hold like a gun. I have to hold my breath because I don't use the new cameras that has like autofocus. That's a tip for someone. So I use my breath, I hold it for a second. Keep in mind my car is moving and the animal is moving. How do you control that? I would love to tell the lion or tiger or whatever, hold that, that's really good, but I cannot,
That's what money does
so
all the
it's
time.
knowing exactly your gear, whether it's your paintbrush, whether it's your pen, your pencil, your paint, whatever it is, your voice, just try to discover what are you made to do on this earth, because we are all the same, but our gears are different.
Absolutely. You have to tell us about Fazza before you go.
It's actually HIPA, which is Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. it's the award.
Yeah.
So HIPA International Photography Award is the most expensive award in the world. It's definitely for Fazzar. I'm thankful to God that in UAE Women's Day, my images were featured for that purpose. So I'm one of most.
Thank you so much, but I would like to open up for a few questions, if that's fine. We have time for 3 questions. Okay. Deranjanas, I'll give you the mic, hold on.
Good evening, Ma'am Swat. Good evening, everyone out here. My name is Anju Bhatia. I'm an edupreneur and a very passionate one, of course. My question was coming to my mind when I was seeing under your name the introduction: an engineer, an adventurer, a wildlife photographer, and of course, many more hats that you have donned. So, ma'am, my question to you is that I come across many students and professionals on a day-to-day basis. There are a lot of transitions happening in their life. It could be career-wise, it could be probably their interests are changing, or probably it's the need, the situation. So what is your message to those students and women and professionals, of course, how they should be able to cope up with that kind of transitions and the anxiety which comes along?
Wow, very beautiful question. Let me tell you that all of us, it's a journey. All of us, it's different phases. One of God's name in Arabic is just. So he will not say, Su'ad is favorable to me, and I'll do this, that, and whatever. A title will not add to you if you as a person it doesn't have value. So there are times when you're down, just to test your faith. You think you're in control, but you're not. Remember when I mentioned my story when I was capturing in my very early years, that I was capturing the birds and all of the, Fast forward 17 years, I was noticed by my country. Today I completed 20 plus. Within these 17 years, to be in a place like this with people from different background, religion, from different education system, brought up in a different way, for me, Su'ad, I had to go through the journey to understand all of you. So it's a phase, take it easy. And trust me, I meet lots of people with lots of titles. But when I come and tell them, who are you as a person? Unfortunately, they don't know. Don't lose yourself and live within only one day. Have dreams. Have dreams as if you're going to live forever. But in reality, live only within one day, because the truth is the only one day that you have. I hope I answered you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think you are exactly saying the same thing, which always goes in my mind. And the message is really brilliant and is going to help a lot who we are going to take it out of this room and tell them that this is the way, and giving your example. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you very much.
And also, when you're doing whatever you're doing, when you discover yourself, when nobody understands it, because imagine me telling my family, only my mom. My mom for many years was my only follower, my only fan. And everyone around him like, what is she doing? You're leaving, what, for what? It's my life. And believe it or not, the same people will come back. So my photography, my life today, transitioned from existing to living. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hi, beautiful ladies and girls. I'm Ruchika, and I have a question which I'm guessing is on everyone's mind after listening to your story. I think as women, we wear multiple hats, and we are caught up with the day-to-day to-dos, responsibilities, our work, our home, family. I have a list of passions which I made maybe 10 years back, and that list has not really changed. But unfortunately, I haven't found the time to follow it. What is that secret tip you would give to us to follow our passion and take out time for it?
Okay, I have two things to tell you. One, we're all in this journey. If God gives us the gift of life, one day all of this energy will fade. When you reach a point that your body cannot do anymore, what are you going to regret? That you didn't live.
I would love to play the piano.
So do it before you regret it. Another thing, when I'm telling you, I went in different phases to answer these questions. And I'm sure most of you have been through this. When I did my undergrad, I said, this is my life, and I didn't live. And I said, you know what? How is it I didn't live? 5 years from my life. Just gone for university and just to have a good grade. I'm not going to repeat that in my life again. I did my master's degree, and guess what? It became my life. I didn't even go out at all. And I said, no way. This is the end. I'm not going to do that again. And I ended up with good grades, with honor. I worked and received lots of awards of excellence, certificate of excellence, and it became my life. Only when the door shut, I promised myself I'm not going to do that again. And today, guess what? I'm doing it for what really makes me feel alive. You can do that
That's
too.
really nice to hear and take back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll take one last question.
Sorry, she raised her hand.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, thank you so much for your time and such insightful and inspiring story of yours. Just wanted to know, where is Ms. Swad, the engineer, now? Do you pursue anything in that field?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, it didn't die because my heart beat still for a huge project. I'm an advisor. Lots of them are like private projects. So when I tell
Great.
you it's like houses or villas, it's like 18 rooms. So you know it's not a villa anymore.
That's great.
But this, I specifically said, God, I was alone.
Yeah.
I cried a lot for my education. I cried a lot for to go through the loneliness that I had in the States. And I said, God, I put it in your hands, protect it, so I can use it. So till today, people are waiting for me to come back in that field, by the way.
That's awesome
Yes.
to have a profession you love
Yes,
and a
I love
passion
it.
you love.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, we're going to take a couple of questions more. So once again, Cheetahs, and then I'm going to come to you, Chetana. And you can take it.
Hello. Thank you for that. You know, you're so self-assured. It's wonderful to see. I'd like to ask, what would you say? Does anything frighten you? How do you deal with fear?
Domestic cats? I'm the fastest to run. See, when I was invited to capture the black leopard. So there is a verse in our holy book that says, there is no living or moving creature, nor a creature that moves with its two wings, but communities like you. So that's what takes me to the other world. So my trip to Laikipia, I went to capture the black leopard. They put the tent on the community of reptiles. So, you know that approximately at between 10 and 12, we all have that nap, even the animals. So it's very hot, and it's I cannot even explain how the situation is. So all sizes of reptiles that you can imagine is in with me in the tent. So what I do, I'm like, you know what? You have your space, I have mine. Let's do this peacefully. And that's, I have to. And you're going to see me document that where I take my shower, it's open to the sky, and you see lots of bees fighting. And I'm like, I need my shower. I don't have anything to do with this. So I just let them mind their business and I mind mine. I cannot, I just hold my breath and survive. That's the only way to do it.
Swat, it's been great listening to you. A very light-hearted question. So in all your years of capturing wildlife, was there ever a moment which was so powerful you wanted to put your camera down and say, I want to experience this with my own eyes?
Okay. I do get emotional.
Sorry.
I have to witness anything that moves in front of my eyes with my eyes. Capture it all the way inside, all the way to my heart, to the deepest place in my heart. Let's go to a story that happened to me a couple years ago. I was seeing this strong, and this is a story to all. So I was seeing this strong lioness. She's a beast, fighting against new lions. They're not adults, and she is fighting with all the power that she has. And I can see, like, I was surprised why this beast, me as a woman, I would fight with something small. And I know she can run away from them because they are very weak compared to the lioness. And I was like witnessing, and then all of a sudden, because remember, I'm in the back laying down, capturing, the driver said, oh my God, her cubs are there. And we witnessed that one of the lions is behind her cubs to eat them so that they can create their pride. And I'm like, follow the cubs. So he went and followed the cubs. The cubs are like the size of a cat. And I'm like, in cartoon, your tears are like outside the car. So my tears, I'm like, Kiran, you want to help, but this is nature, you cannot. So all of a sudden, I saw the two cubs were able to split, fool the lion, the adult lion, and not the adult lion, it was like a teenage, and was able to hide. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even take my breath. It was a moment that I didn't want to witness. So they're hiding, I can see their ears. And I told my driver, go back to the lioness. I want to see. This mom was fighting for her cubs. Viciously, she didn't run away. She's able to do that. And then I saw all of them walk away from her. They gave up. She sat there, and behind her, you're going to see, I think, this image in my account. Behind her is a line of zebras, gazelles. She can easily hunt. She sat there. She's trying to take her breath. And all of a sudden, she looked at me, and she was blind in one eye. And she was hurt. And I'm like, what? Where did she get all of this energy? How did she gather all of this energy to fight for life for her cubs? How do you do that? And it was very silent. I was like in a different world. And all of a sudden, you can Google this. She called for her cubs. And immediately I was tearing. Why? In life, there are lots of situations that happens. We don't have faith. Where did she get the faith knowing that her cubs are alive? She called them, and she was able to unite with them.
Oh, beautiful. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. I mean, the last part, I think, had everybody really enchapted listening to what he was saying. because we as mothers do exactly the same for our children. And thank you so much for all those thought-provoking questions, curious questions, which kept us all at our seats wanting to listen to those answers.
There is only one
Sure,
request.
please.
I would request from all of you. I apologize for this. Can we stand?
Yeah, sure.
Who stood with assistant? Who stood with the assistant of another human being? A show of hands? Look around in the room. No one? You're enough, and you can do it. Thank you.
How amazing was that? How inspiring. Thank you, Suad. We couldn't have dreamt this up to have someone like you to open this for us. And I'm so glad that we've got to hear from the heart, that's what we wanted. We wanted conversations from the heart, and we want to do more of this, and we'd love to see you come to those. So thank you. On that note, I will leave Gomti to do the rest, but I have a request. We're doing this for you, for our members, for ourselves. It's very important for us to know what you think. So we've taken a bit of time to just do a short feedback form. We'd really love it if you could do the filling up for it. You don't need to write your name if you don't wish to, but give us honest feedback, because that's going to help us in curating more such events for you, and hopefully it's going to be the first one of many. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want, what it is you desire, and we'll make it happen. We've got the big boys here who are going to make it happen for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause again, please? I want you to be here. I want you to be here. Let me just get the table moved. I'd like to invite Miss Farida, but before I invite her, I'd love to say a few words about her. She's a pioneering perfumer and a very compassionate advocate for people of determination. Farida Ajmal is a perfumer turned entrepreneur, and she's recently launched her own brand, Farida, in Dubai. The main gifting sponsor in IFA 2023 and 2024 in Abu Dhabi. She also works with children in UAE and India for special needs, and takes care to ensure that they have enough access for care, opportunities, and resources that they deserve. And through her brand and philanthropy, Farida Ajmal continues to inspire others to embrace empowerment, inclusivity, and community engagement. It's such a pleasure reading about you, ma'am. May I invite you up on stage?
And I have to add, one of our IBPC members. Big round of applause for that.
But before you give anything away, I would also like you to felicitate the chief guest. First, I would like you to address the audience for a few minutes. Me? Yes. Big round of applause, everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Amazing. Absolutely inspirational. Especially that one word, passion. That passion is, you can term it as eccentric, madness, passion, anything. I'm equally passionate about what I do. I come from the family of perfumers, which is Ajmal Perfumes, as you all must have heard. Coming out from this big family, male-dominated family, to even step out and start something on my own has to be eccentric or to be really, really passionate. And that's exactly what I do. Just very simple things about me. Amazing evening. Thank you so much for all the inspirational talks and what you've been doing. truly happy to be here today. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And may we request Farida ji to felicitate? One second. No, that's for you to do.
For me?
Yeah, that's what I'm giving it to her too. Be there with him. Come, you can come. Reema Mahajan, the founder of Indian Women in Dubai. And also would like to announce that she won the prestigious award for Loving It Dubai yesterday to come and deliver the word of thanks.
Sunil sir, thank you for, I remember your words when you said when women rise, the societies rise. And that it's a central part of the IBPC mission to be more inclusive and have more women leadership. We look forward to it. Thank you, Ramesh sir, for your continuous mentoring. I always come to you, and I think everybody in IBPC comes to you. Thank you, Sahitya sir, for spending time here. I would love to extend my deepest gratitude to our guest here today, Ms. Suad. I think if I have to summarize your journey today, it's all about passion. Follow your passion, stay true to it. And I think those are the words which have summarized everything and every story that you have shared with us today. Your journey is inspirational to all of us, and I think it's the perfect kickoff for the first session of IBPC Women Collective series. I have to say a special thank you to Ms. Haya. Thank you for leading the discussions, for your thought-provoking questions. And I know you've been working a lot in the background in pulling all of this together, so your hard work shows everybody in the room here today. A big thank you to our sponsors and partners. I don't want to miss anyone, so I'm going to read off the list. Thank you to TriStar, Tata Group, FMCG, Lulu, Standard Charter, Aster Hospital, HSBC, First Response. Your support is essential for us to bring more of these sessions and to have more of these women collective sessions. So we really need you. Thank you. I have to say a big thank you to the organizing team and the three musketeers, Gomti, Haya, Sunny. Thank you for your hard work in pulling all of this together. Putting together sessions like these is a lot of coordination, a lot of last-minute things, and I think you guys have done a brilliant, brilliant job. But I think the biggest thank you is to the audience in this room, to everybody present here for taking our time today, for joining us today. We need all of you together to begin that women movement. We need all of you to come together for learning, for inclusion, and for everything together. Because when women support each other, incredible things happen. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Reema. Shout out to Amit, Suganya,